Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dixon. This is Dixon's World.
Yeah, people come, yeah, people go. I just sit back and collect gold.
Today we are doing a Q&A. Questions that you've asked, I think, throughout the week. Is it? Not throughout the week, really. For the past 4 days. So I'll be answering each one of the questions. There are so many questions asked, but I'll just narrow down to, I think, what I thought will be essential to the channel and to the kind of questions what topics we discuss. My hope is that at the end of the video that we gain something or we learn something together. We have fun together. I think that is the essential, the most important thing why we have the channel. So here we learn, we try to focus on fun things. So without further ado, start with fun questions, going all the way down to maybe serious questions. Maybe you can help me on the comment section. What do you think? Maybe I answered well. What do you think I did answer well? Tell me, maybe if you have your questions, you can drop them on the comment section too. Maybe we could have a part 2 of the Q&A. You never know. Something maybe you'll want to know. You can put it down. Please, if you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe. Share our videos. You can have a look at the other videos that we have, and we welcome you. Thank you. So without further ado, question number 1. This question comes from a friend of mine, and the brother is called Wallace. So Wallace asked me, what is taking you so long to release my machine? No. No, by machine, my brother is talking about the car. So he's always wanted to have the car. So it's like, when that time comes and you want to upgrade the car, you want to buy another car, please, I will be the one buying this car. So make it soon. So Alice, well, I'm hopeful and praying this year that I'll be able to give you your machine. So let's just put everything, to God, because we plan, but God does the rest. So I'm hopeful. Maybe it could be this year. So let's pray about it. Another question: how do I improve my financial discipline? Now, financial discipline is something that most of us are struggling with. And it actually takes a lot of learning and mistakes to come up with a discipline with finances. This is something that you can work with, and in the world where we live in right now, where everything, I think, crops down to we want stuff left, right, and center. We saw someone with a gadget, and we got to get the gadget, and it wasn't in our budget. Without thinking that we really need that kind of investment, we are running to do the same thing. Maybe we are on 2 different levels. So financial discipline is something that most of us don't have. So to create a financial discipline, number 1 is, first thing first, to plan. Now, you have to plan your finances. Without plan, that means you don't know how you're using your finances, and you need a plan. You need to know your bills or your expenses. What are your expenses? And then what do you have remaining? Now, in what you have as a reminder of your finances, or of assuming it's a salary or something. Now, that's what you work on. How much am I saving? How much am I investing? How much am I, you the plan will be able to guide you to do 1, 2, 3. Of course, you'll find maybe sometimes there are people who have habits of being spendthrifts, and planning finances becomes so hard. Number one thing is, the plan and the goals are supposed to guide you. What exactly do I want? How long do I want to achieve? So you should have the short-term goals and the long-term goals. If you have the long-term goals, these are things that long-term investments, like I want to save this amount of money, and in a couple of years I'll be able to do 1 to 3 things. Or I want to save this amount of money, in a month or 2 I'll be able to pay school fees. That's short-term plans. And then you have the long-term plans. So have a place where you write your plans, have a place where you write your goals. What do you want to achieve, and how long, what is the timeline that you're giving yourself that you need to achieve that. If you want to construct a house, do your research well. Be able to know maybe how much does land cost, how much does building material cost, how much is it to get an architect to draw, how much is it to get an engineer, how much is it to, you know, like have a contractor on site. Once you have all these things, before you even get to how much money I need, then it means that you already know what you are planning for. So that means the moment you have your money, then you're able to plan your money. You are able to plan because you have a long-term goal. Now, for the short-term goals, I think we all know what we need. And then there are other expenses that comes our way, like bank credits or bundles, or the small things that come. So those are things that, of course, you're supposed to plan for. You need to know your expenses monthly. You need to know, and you need to have a miscellaneous amount, whereby if anything arises, what can you do? Assuming you're in CBD somewhere doing stuff and there's a matatu strike, so what do? You need to take a cab home. So those are miscellaneous that crops up at the end of the day. So finances are planned, but without planned finances, then you become a failure outright. So I think I have answered that question in length. Question number 3 is a fun one. I asked, do you think number 2 is applicable? That is number 2, that is the finances discipline, is applicable when I love VPower. Now, this is a car enthusiast, and VPower is the high octane petrol that normally is sold by Vivo. Well, you can still have the long-term goals and the short-term goals and still pump VPower one, because it all rolls down to the income. If the income is okay, that's okay, because at the same time you don't want to have a car with mechanical issues that runs down your pockets. So VPower, you can still run it, but at the same time, again, you're supposed to weigh options. Is it really necessary? Because even the other unleaded petrol will still work in your car perfectly. So it all depends with how you're looking at it. If the amount of income is sustainable to have VPower in the expense, then that's okay. If it's not, then I think it's something that you can scrap, and because the car can still definitely drive with the other type of gasoline. Question number 4 is, what inspired you to start Amazing Group? Now, what inspired me to start Amazing Group? First thing first, I think I'll say passion and curiosity. Yeah, passion and curiosity, because I've always been curious of buildings, always been curious of business, always been curious of design, graphics. Now the curiosity bit of me drove me into wanting to know all these things. And in Amazing Group, we have amazing interiors, we have amazing security systems, we have the construction a bit of it, the design bit of it, and we are still trying to be more curious and trying to get as many places we can put ourselves into. Growth is slow or gradual, let me put it. Growth is gradual. You learn one thing, you become a master of it, and you go to the next. So for me, I think having been brought up from a background that really there was nothing much, I really wanted to make money, yes, but at the same time I was really passionate about buildings. I was passionate about design my entire life. So I think that answers what inspired me to start Amazing Group. How did you know you have a passion in interior design? So well, I've always been a neat freak. Well, I am not very neat per se, but I'll really want to see something looking really neat, something looking organized. So I think it started early, because I will arrange my bag well, I will arrange my mathematical set well, I will just want to see an organized something. So it led me to start thinking of a well organized house, a well manicured lawn, a very well done compound and fences. So I think it's something that was in me from a little bit earlier. So, and I decided, okay, why not make it into something that can work for me too, right? Where do you see yourself in 5 years aside from owning a Jeep? Oh, oh yeah, sure. Well, I'm a lover of Jeep. Hopefully soon. And in 5 years, I'm actually looking forward to having expanded to different African countries. At the moment, we are in Tanzania, but I'm looking forward to expand in different African countries, take amazing brand out there, and hopefully, God willing, there's no limit to what we can achieve. There's no limit to where we can go. But in 5 years, again, I am looking forward to maybe having inspired so many other people to do what they love doing without really having to focus maybe on things that don't make sense to them. Again, I look really forward to having changed someone's perspective of life and how they view themselves. Definitely, it's not rosy and cozy out there, but I believe with the right people, with the right words, the right environment, people have potential of doing things that they thought they can never do. So yes. What do you do to be sane with your goals? Like, what do you do to make sure that you are on the right foot or the right path with your goals? So for me, I try as much as possible to give myself a timeline. Well, in as much as sometimes the timeline don't work because of issues here and there. Sometimes we're in a world, of course, where we are all humans, but I try as much as possible to have a focus on something. If I say I want to do A, then I'll focus on A. I'll make sure I've mastered A. I have researched everything about A. I know like 360 degrees about A, and then I'll put my mind into it, follow that path no matter what, even if maybe I don't have finances, but I'll make sure I have followed that path until I accomplish it. It's not easy to put yourself out into something and accomplish it, but it's fulfilling. I can assure you it's fulfilling, something that really brings so much joy to me. It doesn't mean that I have achieved all the goals I set. No, some of the goals I actually failed terribly. It's still okay to fail, because whenever you fail you learn, and from the lessons you try again, and maybe something bigger and better, and that's how, you know, I'm able to be sane when I'm chasing the goals. Are you married? Well, well, I am not married, but I'm hopeful. I will. I love families, and I love having a family. So I'm hopeful. You know, God does his things, and he always does for us. So I'm hopeful. Thank you. Someone asked, the best place to save money, is it the bank, the circle, or buying treasury bills and bonds? Now, the best place to save your money. Where is the best place to save your money? You can save your money in the banks, you can save your money in the circles, you can still buy treasury bonds and bills. The point here is, what is your definite goal? If I save money in the bank, it means that I'll still go to the bank and get my money, you know, everything goes, you know, like normal. If I have a circle, maybe it's our circle, we know our rules and regulations, the things we are doing. Maybe I'll be able to get a loan or something. So I'll go for the circle, and maybe I'll get the loan, and maybe I'll be able to do 1, 2, 3 things, whatever I wanted to do. Bills and bonds are two different things. A different thing altogether, because now when you buy bills and bonds from the government, it means that you are giving government a loan. So it's now you giving the government a loan, and then it will come back with interest in it. So bills are short terms, between 3 months and 1 year. You give government a loan 3 months and 1 year, so you're able to recoup your money and your interest as fast as possible. Bonds are long term, between 1 year and 30 years. Again, if you have a chunk of money lying somewhere and you really need to make some good money, then you can loan it to the government and make money through it, because number one, it's secure. You get good returns from it, unlike the normal ways we do things. If you take money to the bank, of course there are banks that will give you interest. Well, some banks will give you interest on your money, but of course the interest won't be that high. So yeah, so looking at all the scenarios, you know where to put your money. The last question is, how can one use debt to generate income? So there are several ways of generating income, and basically I feel like you can use a debt or a loan to generate income. But before you go for a loan, my advice will be, first, have a business that is already running. Have a business that is maybe, even if it has challenges, you know the challenges, and you're trying to work through the challenges by getting financial assistance from the banks or from whoever. So by so doing is that you won't be putting all the risks or putting the business at risk. So basically I believe that you can generate an income by having a debt from someone or from an institution. So I think those are the questions for the day. Thank you so much for everyone who made to ask a question. So maybe we'll do part 2, and we hope we will get more questions, and we hope to be able to answer them Thank you so much. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. Share the video. See you in the next video on Thursday. Thank you. Bye.